This is a game made entirely out of YouTube comments. Now then. Hello people of the existing interwebs who are existingly watching this video right now in time. My name is Shoichimen, and I would like to start off this episode of Let's Game by thanking all the people who made contributions in the previous week. It was super awesome reading your comments, seeing what you'd like to see in the game, and working on all the suggestions that I received. Some of them were really hilarious, some of them were really complex and well crafted, and others count for a very interesting gameplay experience. Now then, let's get started into the first few comments. The first is from iDev Tutorials, and he requested that I add in a skill tree, a harpoon weapon. He also requested that I put secrets around the map and try to keep the story as consistent as possible. As for the requests for the secrets in the game story consistency, I'll try to add secrets in wherever I can if I have the time, and due to the nature of the game, where it's composed entirely out of YouTube comments, I will try my best to keep the story consistent with itself. But then again, somebody just might want to add in story bits that contradict with other story bits, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do about it. Moving on to the other submissions that he made. And up next is the harpoon weapon. In essence, it's a harpoon. The idea seemed a lot better in his head though, until he realized it was just a harpoon. Anyway, I took this idea of just a harpoon and made it a simple projectile that can be fired from the player at any moment. And finally, the last of his great ideas, the skill tree. This idea was really great in that it really fits into the theme of the entire game, where comments can change it at any moment. With the skill tree, you have the ability to choose which abilities you're using at any moment in time. And since there are going to be multiple abilities submitted, players will be able to choose whether or not they want to use yours or not. The skill tree has also been converted into the weapons tree, which isn't really a tree, it's kind of like a selection of weapons. And also, the items spawning menu. You can gain access to these menus by hitting the escape key, and then navigating your cursor using the WASD keys. Consider the left arrow key the select button. When using the skills menu, you simply overlap your cursor to what skill you want, and then hit the left key, and it should be able to select it for you. You can hit escape to unpause, and then try out your new ability. As of right now, the only abilities that can be manipulated in the skill tree are the jump abilities and the sprint abilities. As for the secret hidden somewhere around the map, there is one, but I'm gonna try not to show you where it is in the video. I'm just gonna hope that you find it yourself. It's not too good, but that's because there's not a lot of stuff in the game just yet. I then received suggestions by somebody under the name of Zalotl. He requested that I add in a specific sprint ability, so I had to go in and make an entire sprint function as well as this ability, which can both be accessed using the skills menu. His sprint ability though is a bit different from the traditional one. His suggests that you catch on fire at a specific speed and you can break through specific blocks. The next suggestion from him was really interesting and I had a lot of fun screwing around with this and coding it. He requests that I make a circular spot in the environment that has the ability to slowly rotate the gravity of the player while the player is inside of it. This contributed to a crazy gameplay experience and most notably is ridiculously overpowered, with the ability to have the player gain access to parts that are literally impossible to access. Things like the ceilings are now at your fingertips. My personal favorite way to use this item is to open up the skill tree and unlock one of the gravity resistant jump types, and then just jump into one. You'll begin to start rotating incredibly fast and you also get stuck inside, but it's really trippy. In case you do happen to get stuck inside though, you can simply get unstuck by equipping one of the non-gravity resistant jump types. You can gain access to these circular centrifuge spots by hitting escape and then navigating your cursor over the items menu. It's either the red, blue, or the green circles, and each one has its own effect. Green is kind of a resetting one where it resets your gravity to regular. Red and blue are either clockwise or counterclockwise gravity rotation. Once these spots are inserted into the game, you can navigate your cursor above them, hold down the left key, and you can drag and drop them around. You can also get rid of these spots by navigating your cursor above them and hitting the down arrow key. Drag and dropping and hitting down to delete works for anything that can be summoned from the items menu. Now in this exact moment in the video, you can see me coding the actual items menu and the functionality behind it. You can also see me drag and dropping a few items around, like the owl head, or even the circular spots. I can also delete them and create a few blocks. The brown blocks are the ones that can be destroyed by running into them using the flame dash mentioned earlier. What's cool is that if you stack a whole bunch of the same item on top of each other, they'll just push out the moment you unpause, and you'll still be able to drag and drop and manipulate them individually. The game is built in with a save and load functionality, and whenever you load up your game, the items that you left behind are going to be there exactly how you left them. If you would like to save your game or any of the arrangement of things that you made, you just hit escape, navigate your cursor down to the bottom right corner, and the save and load buttons are right there. Overlap it over the save button and hit the left arrow key. You didn't see anything change, but it most certainly saved your game. I will also be adding music boxes to the game, whether it be original soundtrack for the game or music that you would like to submit because you just like to listen to it. That's able for me to use according to the rules from episode 1. They will be available as music boxes, which can be put into any level. Just in case you didn't like the music playing on the current level, you can just switch it up however you want. This isn't anybody's specific idea, but I thought it would be a nice touch just in case people didn't like to listen to the music that was currently playing on the stage. I believe the ability to summon in any items you want adds a nice sandbox layer to the gameplay experience, allowing you to change your map however you like, if you don't like what I have set up, making it truly your own game. I'm going to set up an area that's pretty much a blank canvas and allow you to submit a level idea. Right now the game doesn't have any levels, but if you'd like, you can go to this blank canvas part of the map, which I'll show you later, and create your own level. If you really like it, you can screenshot your level or record yourself playing through it, and we'll add it to a playlist on the channel. And if I have the time, I might even be able to make it into an actual level into the game upon request. Please note that you do not have to use the in-game blank canvas and materials that I've provided to create a level. You can also use a drawing of some sort or submit any sort of image, and I'll be able to make a level from that if I have the ability to do so. I also received some submission ideas from a commenter under the name of Yokos. He submitted a couple ideas, but unfortunately I ran out of time and was not able to complete all of them for this episode. What I was able to do is get started on one of them, and it was the blast boots. The idea is to replace the player's original jump and convert him into a projectile for a limited amount of time and have him move upwards using some sort of aiming cursor. I tried my best to do so. It does not have the functionality of damaging enemies with the fire trail, but I did add the fire trail. I should be able to finish up in the next week. The blast boots are a great idea, and I love how they're coming so far, despite the fact that they're not finished just yet. Everything will be available as a download link in the description, and one of the 4 doors on the map will lead to the blank canvas. That is the level editor. Again, if you have any ideas, just leave them in the comments and I'll try to get to as many as I can. Peace!